And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Candidate Forum 2012. Along with Lake City Reporter Editor Robert Bridges, I'm Mike McKee. For the next 2 hours, we'll introduce you to the candidates for Lake City Council Precinct 12, Council Precinct 13, Columbia County School Board District 2, and Columbia County School Board District 5, as well as our finale tonight, the Columbia County Superintendent of Schools. Tonight's forum is brought to you by Drawdy Insurance Services, Tommy Demas Attorney at Law, Haven Hospice, and Potash Corporation of White Springs. We thank them for their support of this most important programming for Columbia County. The rules for our forum are that each candidate is given a 2-minute opening statement and a 2-minute closing statement, and each candidate is afforded 2 minutes to answer each question. Our first segment this evening is with the candidates for Lake City Council Precinct 12. Let's get started by meeting the candidates. They are incumbent Jake Hill and challenger Zack Paulk. We drew numbers prior to coming into the studio, and Mr. Paulk drew the number 1. Mr. Paulk, you have 2 minutes to make an opening statement.
Good evening. My name is Zack Paulk. I'm 40 years old. I'm a graduate of Valdosta State University. I'm married with 3 children and a grandchild. My community service entails annual fundraisers for the Children's Miracle Network and the Gainesville Fisher House. I sit on the board of directors for Elder Care of Alachua. I also sit on the board for the RCCAMN, which is the Richardson Center here in Lake City. The reason I'm running for City Council is because I want the people in my district voices to be heard. I would like to be the one to represent the people in my district. During the most critical times in our city and the struggling economy, I don't want to sit back and watch others determine the fate and future quality of life for our city. Therefore, I made a decision to run for City Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paulk. Now the incumbent Jake Hill. Mr. Hill, you have 2 minutes to make an opening statement to the people of Lake City.
Yes, good evening. I'm Jake Hill, Jr. I'm married to Deborah Hill. I have 2 kids, Jakeem Hill, Debril Hill. I'm married for 24 years. I'm self-employed, been in Lake City all my life. Reason why I ran for City Council District 12 was to make a difference, try to clean up our community, try to bring together the city and the county and work together on solving some of the issues of Lake City.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for the question and answer segment of our broadcast, and to ask the questions is the editor of the Lake City Reporter, Robert Bridges. Robert, it's all yours.
Thanks, Mike. We'll start with Mr. Paulk. Mr. Paulk, what are the main issues on the minds of voters in your district, and if elected, what will you do to address those issues?
Okay. The main issue, 95% of the number one issue that I have that have been brought up as I go around and I knock on the people's doors is the drainage. There's a big issue with the drainage, particularly around the residents around Gwen Lake, the people over there on Long Street and Wilson Street. I think we have to take a closer look within the budget to make sure that we are allocating money for drainage and being able to attack these issues over here in these problem areas more frequently. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulk. Mr. Hill, same question. What are the main issues in District 12?
The main issues that I found since I've been in office of City Council is one thing is garbage pickup. What else? We have problems with garbage. Our infrastructure is pretty good, but it's been better. It's better since I've been in office. We have some issues with gang activity, and I think that's pretty much all the problems that I have encountered since I've been in office.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. We'll stick with you for the next question. In recent weeks, the chief of police and the city manager have come under fire by civil rights groups over alleged racial misconduct. What is your opinion of this matter?
Well, in our last council meeting, I voted a confidence of our police chief, but I voted for the police chief simply because I heard everybody that came up to council meeting that night, and I heard both sides of, heard the chief side, and I heard, the concerned constituents about what was going on with the chief. So I was sitting there listening to everybody, and I come to the conclusion that I'm just going to wait and see what the outcome of the courts with the police department. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. Mr. Paulk, same question. NAACP and SCLC have made various allegations. Is there merit?
Well, also I sat in at the city council meeting, and I witnessed people coming from the NAACP, SCLC, asking for the chief's resignation. The chief also had, there were also people that spoke on behalf of the chief. Me personally, I think that the both of them should be able to work out their differences. Hopefully we can go ahead and get past those issues and put them behind us and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulk. We'll stick with you for the next question. If elected, what would you do to create a better working relationship between the City Council and the County Commission?
First of all, I would like to arrange a meeting between both the city and the county commissioners, so we can find out all the issues of the problems that we having with working together with one another. When it's during the time for crisis, I don't see us having an issue with working together. Everybody's pulling together. When it's coming time for bringing industry into town, everybody seems to come together then as well. So there should be no reason why we shouldn't work together on all issues instead of trying to come together in the times of crisis.
Mr. Hill, same question. What could you do, if reelected, during the next 4 years to create a better working relationship with the county?
But since I've been elected, the city and the county have a pretty good relationship. There are some differences, but overall, I know that the city and the county has a good working relationship, for the operation of the city and the operation of the county. Like I said, I talked with all the commissioners once I was elected, try to find out, what could I do to bring the city and the county together. So as I say, as of right now, I feel like the city and the county have a good working relationship. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hill. Downtown redevelopment has been on the table at City Council for decades. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we have what we call a downtown committee, and the council is working hand in hand with with the downtown committee, with the CRA, and we're making good progress. We're paving. If you go downtown, we paved Alachua Street, Hernando, and the paving crew is downtown right now, paving downtown to prepare for the future. We have a farmers market we brought in a couple of years ago, and it's doing well. So I think that we're on the right track of bringing downtown back to life.
Mr. Paulk, if elected, what will you do to help facilitate redevelopment in downtown?
Well, I agree with Mr. Hill as far as the CRA committee. However, I think there still needs to be a lot more communication to the people out there as to where we're standing and why we're not moving as fast as we are. We need to take a closer look at the budget, maybe looking to take funds from other areas to see if we can fund more of these projects. We need to get a more definitive timeline for everyone to see so they can start seeing a lot more progress than what's been made. Thank you.
Mr. Paulk, what are your views on consolidation? Maybe not necessarily total consolidation of city and county, but at least the reduction or elimination of duplication of effort of services on some levels?
I'm all for consolidation of certain services, such as building and zoning, recreation, but I'm not for consolidation of local governments. So.
Very well, Mr. Hill.
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. Consolidation. What is your view on possibly eliminating duplication of effort on the part of city and county governments, possibly combining some of those services?
Well, in the past, consolidation has come up in the past, and before I come aboard, I've done some research on it. If it's going to better the city and the county and the constituents of the city and the county. Consolidation is, I believe it would work, but if it's going to cause someone to lose their job for cause of consolidation, I'm dead against it, because I don't want anyone in this time to lose their job. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hill, for you, does the city have a welcome and open attitude toward new business opportunities in Lake City?
Yes, we do. Yes, the city does have an open relationship with new businesses coming in. We offer different incentives for business to come into Lake City. Right now on the table, there's several. Actually, there's three restaurants, there are three restaurants that's trying to come into Lake City.
Thank you. Mr. Paulk, same question. To your knowledge, does the city have a welcome and open attitude toward new business opportunities?
Yes, I think the city does have a open and welcome attitude. As I spoke with the city manager, the CRA will try to attract new businesses here. They are willing to offer incentives to get new businesses to come down to our downtown area. And I think as we make more progress improving our downtown area from an infrastructure standpoint, I think you'll see more businesses attract to our downtown area.
Mr. Paulk, what makes you a better choice for this seat than Mr. Hill?
I think my leadership ability. As a leader, you have to have the ability to influence people. You must also be able to set the direction and the vision in which for them to follow. You have to communicate that vision, get their buy-in and their support. And you have to communicate as much information as you can to them. The more they know, the more they understand. The more people understand, the more they will care. And once they care, there will be no stopping them. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, same question, please. What makes you a better choice for this seat than your opponent?
Well, first of all, see, I have 4 years of experience. I'm from Lake City. I was raised in Lake City. I've been in Lake City all my life. I'm well known around Lake City. Everybody knows my character. Again, I'm self-employed. I'm not going anywhere. I'm available. I've been available for the last 4 years. For just being homegrown, and I'm not saying that as for being a good old boy, but for me knowing what's going on in the past, have gone on in the past in Lake City. And like I say, you know, at any given time, when I receive phone calls that a constituent needs to see me or need to talk with me, I return phone calls. I've made it my business to go out and visit. I'm visible in the community, and that's what makes me better for this job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill, how can the city improve its infrastructure to meet the needs of the future?
Right now, we're in the process of a multi-million-dollar reuse waters facility, and it's just about to come online within any given time. That's one thing on the infrastructure of Lake City. We have different projects that's going on, and like I say, you know, I believe that our infrastructure is pretty solid. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulk. Same question. What do we need to do to improve the infrastructure?
I think we're off to a great start as far as trying to improve our infrastructure. As I visit with different departments, the airport, they are searching, you know, we recently received a grant to improve our infrastructure out there at the airport. In the IT department, we have improved our IT department, so there's a possibility of us to start attracting business to gain revenue from other sources outside of Lake City. And also, to what Mr. Hill alluded to as far as the what you call that? I know it's Kicklighter wastewater treatment plant, reclaimed water. That's what it is. I'm sorry, but I think the city is off to a great start, and I look for a more continued improvement. Thank you.
Mr. Paulk, is the Lake City Police Department doing a good job, and is it well managed?
based off what I've seen, I have not had any negative run-ins with the Lake City Police Department. I have heard of a lot of issues and a lot of complaints with the Lake City Police Department, and a lot of people have been terminated for whatever reason. I'm not privy to all the details and the information because I'm on the outside right now, but I do know as a city councilman, a lot of determinations you try to coach. When you start seeing trends and patterns, you try to address those trends and patterns. So I feel as though a lot of these issues that has arisen could have been headed off a whole lot sooner had we reeled them back in and found out, hey, what kind of accountability process that we have in place, what are we doing, here's the buzz on the street, because the people in the community wants to know, and I feel as though we need to do a better job of getting out and communicating this information to the people. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, what are your thoughts on LCPD?
Well, I'm not pleased with the way our Lake City Police Department is being run, but first of all, we need to start at the head, and that's with the chief. In order for you to be a leader, you have to have someone that wants to follow. Then our police chief, she's not available to the public. If you try to see her, you got to go through an act of Congress to see her, which that's not good. But overall, and I'll just leave it at that, the police department is in need of a lot of help. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, if elected, what would be your top priorities for City Council for the next 4 years?
My top priorities for the next 4 years is to bring a better relationship with our county commissioners, with our police department, sheriff department, continue to grow to downtown, and continue to be available for the public. Thank you.
Mr. Paulk, what would be your top priorities for the next 4 years if elected?
We need to improve our relationship between the city and the county. We also need to do a better job of communicating all the different game plans and all the different issues that are arising within our community. I would also like to improve the appearance of the west side of our district, because there shouldn't be no reason why the east side of our District 12 is not looking the same as the west side of District 12. So I think we have a lot of work cut out for us, and I'm ready to take the seat and start guiding us in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulk. Mr. Paulk, are you satisfied with recreation opportunities offered by the city?
Well, actually, no. I think that's one of those services in which I would agree to maybe combine it with the county. My child has played city recreation baseball and played county recreation baseball, and the county is we've enjoyed the county program a whole lot more. So therefore, if we continue to have the city recreation department, I think it needs to be overhauled. I think we need to do a better job of getting out, trying to teach our kids and help our kids to understand and educate them on all aspects of sports. Thank you.
Mr. Hill, same question. Are you satisfied with recreation opportunities?
Am I satisfied with the same recreation opportunities? Yes. Yes, I'm satisfied to the point where we need to continue to offer different programs for the kids. You know, we had, in the past we have had different people that want to just give the recreation away to the county. I'm against that. Right now it's on the table to close down Southside. I'm against that idea. So right now I'm pleased with it, but I'm not pleased with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill, how can you, as a member of the City Council, help grow the local economy?
Well, like I said, there again, we need to try to entice different businesses to bring their business to Lake City. we need to offer different programs, help assist programs that are already in place to grow Lake City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Mr. Paulk, how can a member of the City Council help bring jobs or grow the economy?
Well, actually, I have a meeting with the U.S. Green Coalition here in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to gain a lot of understanding in what can we do to have make Lake City go green. I think with going green, you attract a lot of businesses. You have other people want to come here and understand and learn how are we going green. There's a lot of tax breaks for us, and there's job opportunities for us as well.
Last question. We'll start again with Mr. Paulk. Mr. Paulk, the county has taken the lead for the most part in the fight, this ongoing battle, suddenly of great intensity, to preserve, protect, and defend our water supply. How can the city play a larger role in this struggle?
I think the city needs to also, we need to work hand in hand and make sure that we are following the same guidelines as they are in the county to make sure we are preserving the use of water. I think once we do that, everybody's on the same page, everybody's working together, and it's for the good of the community, it's for the good of Lake City, and for the good of the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hill, what kind of role can the city play in this ongoing struggle to preserve our groundwater?
Well, I sit on the board of directors of the Swanee River League of Cities, and on that board we have been fighting since this issue has come up on protecting our water in Lake City. Not only Lake City, Swanee County, Hamilton County, Swanee County, Hamilton County, Columbia County. We have been fighting this tooth and nail on trying to protect our water in this area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the question and answer portion of this segment of Candidate Forum 2012. It's now time for each candidate to make a 2-minute closing statement, and since candidate Paulk went first, he will go last. Candidate Jake Hill, you have 2 minutes to make a closing statement to the voters of Lake City.
Again, I'm Jake Hill. I'm currently City Council District 12. I love my job. I like to continue to be the City Council District 12. I'm available for you at any time of the day. Just call City Hall and they will get in touch with me. Now, again, I'm presently the Vice Mayor of Lake City. I serve on the tourist development of Columbia County. And again, I would appreciate your vote, your support starting August the 4th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hill. Mr. Paulk, you have 2 minutes to make your closing statement and ask for the voters of Lake City.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Florida Gateway College, Lake City Reporter, and the Chamber, and all other businesses that helped put this forum on, and especially the voters that took time out of their busy evening to listen to the answers and responses from Mr. Hill and myself. Don't forget August 4th, early voting, August 14th, primary election. Please go out and vote. I know that I can do a better job. I have 17 years of business experience, a wealth of training, and I look forward to being and serving you as your city council. Thank you.
And that concludes our first segment of Candidate Forums. When we come back on Florida Gateway College Television, we'll meet the candidates for Lake City Council Precinct 13. You're watching Candidate Forum on Florida Gateway College Television and WCJX Radio. Don't go away.